Hi, welcome to Snippets of Truth. I'm Bishop Dr. Sylvester V. Jones, and today we're going to be talking about your authority in Jesus Christ. And in order to do that, I want to bring something out that is very important to you. I'm going to be using an account of a centurion in Matthew chapter 8 and in Luke chapter 7. By looking at this and examining this in this little small snippet, you will find something very powerful concerning your authority in Jesus Christ. It is more than the power of attorney, but it has something to do with our representation of Him. Now, when we take a look at Matthew chapter 8, now I'm going to read something here from Matthew chapter 8, and beginning at verse number 5. I'm going to read it very quickly. And when Jesus was entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion beseeching him. Remember, in Matthew chapter 8, a centurion came to Jesus. Now, when we go to Luke chapter 6, it says, now when Jesus, chapter 7 rather, it says, now when Jesus had ended all his saying in the audience of the people, he entered into Capernaum. And a certain centurion's servant, who was dear unto him, was sick and ready to die. And when Jesus heard of this, he sent unto him the elders of the Jews, beseeching him. Now we find two striking occurrences. And Luke claims that the centurion sent servants and elders unto Jesus. But we find over here in Matthew, the very same centurion, Matthew chapter 8, Matthew's account was that the centurion came to Jesus. But do we know infallibly that these are the same centurion? Yes, we do. Because Jesus said the same thing about both centurions using the same superlative. And what was that? He said, I have not seen so great of faith, right here in Matthew chapter 8, verse number 10. When Jesus heard it, he marveled and said to them that followed, verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel. That's Matthew chapter 8 and verse number 10. Now when you turn to Luke chapter 7 and verse number 9, this is what it says. When Jesus heard these things, he marveled at him and turned him about and said unto the people that followed him, I say unto you, I have not even found so great faith, no, not in Israel. He said the same thing about both centurions, meaning that they had to be the same centurion. But wait a minute. In Matthew's account, the centurion, did you get it here? In Matthew's account, the centurion came to Jesus. But in Luke's account, the centurion stayed home. What is this? Why is this? Well, sometimes things are so holy that the scriptures are written by the power of God, and the Lord does not, the Holy Spirit does not want the enemy to discover certain secrets. But these things now are revealed to the bride of Christ. And the matter is, there is a custom that if someone go in your name and in your power, it is just as good as you going yourselves. That's it, friends. When we exercise the power of PROXY, it is just as good as Jesus Christ is doing it. And matter of fact, He is doing it when we go forth in His name. Now, friends, you can have that entire lesson if you just write me. Go to my webpage at www.greaterblessedassurance.org and just navigate yourself to sermons and tell me that you want the message on the authority of the believer and send us a donation to help defray the cost of PayPal, and I can email you that account. This is Bishop Dr. Sylvester V. Jones saying to you, you have the authority of Christ. Use it. And thank you for listening and watching the snippet.